Today, we travel back to Mordor to tackle a very important task. To bring the command of Mordor armies to the board. In a slight different way.
The age of men is over. The time of the orc has come.
The advantage of Mordor armies is that, besides having a quite uniform look, they are also heterogeneous enough that they allow this kind of conversions for command troops and captains and whatever. I think it's a great advantage that you don't have to follow such uniform patterns like, for example, Gondor armies or Rohan or elves, that you can do a lot of different stuff. First, and without any conversion, I managed to pick up this metal Witch King on foot in eBay, so after some restoring, assembly and paint, now I have a dismounted version to go together with my Fell Beast one that I showed you in a previous video. Now I'm only missing the horse option, and we will have him covered for whatever options in army lists that we could use. There were several orc commanders during the Pelennor Fields battle, being Gothmog the main one, who I have showed you previously on the channel. Besides him, there are two characters that stand out and that are also eligible for this game. Guritz and the one called the Gothmog's Enforcer, the guy that is trying to bring down the gate in Minas Tirith. The original sculpts are quite new and nice, but I wanted to make my own and also at the same time save a little bit by making them custom and unique.
There's knife work here needs doing!
The bases of both of them are Morannon orcs, which I head swapped from other Morannon bits and a head of Perry Knights for Guritz. Guritz also got his skulls from some resin 3D printed bits from Green Stuff World, and the Gothmog Enforcer got his sword from a normal classical Mordor orc. Once the conversion was done, I just painted them according to the rest of my Morannon army, and here they are, next to Gothmog, ready to lead the siege on Minas Tirith.
Avengers! Assemble.
Mordor captains are quite important and useful for the game, but I think that they can be easily converted from normal troops by giving them more commanding poses or different equipment that might make them stand out. I'm thinking on replicating the one with the Gondor armor that you can see in the pictures, but so far I will go with these three. That will be for the future. One of them is the classic original metal captain, which I got secondhand, and the others converted are from mixing Morannon and Mordor orcs bits. The conversions were very simple, but yet effective, making this process actually very enjoyable. And the painting is also, quite simple, and it just sticks with the rest of the army. These two guys you have already seen in the other Mordor video I made, but I just decided that I love them so much, both of them, that I wanted to use them in a special way as captains, and then if I just need them as soldiers, I can also run them there. But these seem to be the typical guys that are always gonna be in the armies whenever I take them somewhere to play or whatever.
Inspection!
Only seen on the extended version of The Return of the King, this absolute unit of orc doesn't need much to impress. Looked scary, dangerous, quite angry and loud, and I wanted to recreate him with what I had at hand. He seems to be very useful in the tabletop game, which that's also why I wanted to have him, besides trying to have a bit of everything. The whip is made with some leftover bits from the Fell Beast kit. His head is a big Trix Roman's head that I damaged a little and got rid of his head, so it looked similar to the pictures in the movie. And the mace is from the Morannon orcs. Everything put on a Mordor orc body, painted, and here it is. It does the trick pretty well. This model is part of the Morannon orcs command set, but I thought that converting him would be pretty simple. I started by stacking a bunch of leftover Rohan shields to make the actual body of the drum, topped it with a damaged recasted shield for the leathery texture that is on the back of it, and covered the sides with millipede to give it like a cloth around it. Once the drum was ready, it was just a matter of putting it on the body, I did a simple head swap just because I thought it looked cool, and used a Mordor orc pickaxe to repurpose it as drumstick just by removing the actual pick and then add some millipede. After that it was painted and based, and he's ready to drum away. I made another banner with my first batch of Morannon orcs, but I feel that such a large force needed a couple more. At the end of the day I have another 70 Morannon orcs that need to be painted, so I'm gonna need a bunch of them, and I wanna have different options so I don't always take the same one. The first one I got took no conversion, since I got the classic metal one, again from eBay, secondhand. It came together with the captain I showed you before, and I painted it to fit the army. The other one took some more work, using a Urukai with a pike as a base. I head swapped him with a Morannon head, gave him a Rohan axe on the belt, and built the banner on his pike with some leftover spear bits and a bit of paper tape. I then made his banner out of paper, I painted the whole thing, and here they are. It is quite weird that we start with a Gandalf on Shadowfax to show a conversion of a mounted Nazgul, but it will make sense, bear with me. In my second-hand purchases, I got this Gandalf that was a bit broken down and I had to fix him, as I showed in another video. However, a couple of weeks later, I got another one in a lot, and he was missing the right arm, so I didn't really know what to do with him. I even tried to sell him, but nobody bought it, so one day I saw my leftover Nazgul bits from the Felbeast skin, and I decided that maybe I could turn him into a mounted Ringwraith. I swapped the head for the cloak that comes in the kit, and I sculpted the gaps with green stuff. Then I just added an arm and a Morgul blade to reconstruct the whole arm, and it was very simple. I just primed it, and the painting, it was very simple with black contrast paints and some details in silver and red, nothing too crazy, and here it is. I don't think it's bad at all for being a recycling project like this one, and I think it's a good idea to make a couple of them, since the clothing looks kinda similar to the one of the Nazguls already, so it's just a matter of painting it accordingly. And here they are all together, ready to lead the armies of Mordor into war. Will I make more of this? Probably. It was super fun to do, and honestly I cannot see myself staying away from this process again, especially knowing that I have another 36 Morannon orcs on sprue. I have a bunch of them that are already assembled on top of those 36 that I will probably just repaint or also convert, and then I have a bunch of Mordor orcs that I could just use and convert as well, so maybe I'm gonna be roughly around another 70 or 80 that I have to work with. So it's gonna be something that I will probably do in the future. Maybe I try to repurpose some of them to be Isengard orcs, maybe I try to make those as an army. You let me know in the comments, maybe you have ideas on how to use them. Let me know in the comments if there's something else you would like to see. If, for example, some ideas to do with these orcs that I have, or any other conversions from any other faction in the game, I will be very interested to. My plan is to kind of complete the whole collection at some point, one way or another. So I would like to share you the path to get there. So if you have any ideas or any suggestions of what I should try to do next, or anything you would like me to review, I'm all ears. I will love to bring some more videos that you find interesting your way. But until then, I'll keep working in these things and other projects I have going at the same time. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll see you next week. Cheers!